Hello and welcome. My name is Irina, and I welcome you to the second episode of the Begin Anywhere podcast, where we meet to explore different topics and to explore with less script and more presence. Seeing what emerges can be exciting, it can also be daunting, and I can feel both of that in the moment. The first episode was quite the experiment for me. It was one take. It flew by. It was 15 minutes. I did enjoy it, and there was a lot of excitement and also fear and trepidation when I shared it with the world. And in the aftermath, I really needed some time to recover, not from talking, not from being in front of a microphone, but from sharing. It felt so vulnerable. It felt vulnerable because of the awareness it could potentially reach anyone on the planet with an internet connection. And the awareness that I also shared a personal story. I shared something that felt intimate. It felt like it's my raw life experience. And I trust it will make its way to whoever wants and is open to hearing it. And this second episode will be about preparation or the lack of preparation, however you want to see it. I was reflecting on what I would bring up now to this podcast, and the one sentence that was coming up again and again in the last days was preparation is really important, or is it? No, it's quite interesting that this sentence comes from me. I think probably many people who know me would know the part of me that loves to be prepared, loves to know, loves to learn, and loves to come with a spreadsheet, with a list, with something that would make things easier and they would be structured. There would be a lot of thinking that has gone into whatever I'm doing. And I have realized over the years that this has become more of a burden than it was helpful. That's not to say that I don't value preparation anymore, quite the opposite. I think I will always value it. And I have come to realize through many, many steps, especially on my coaching journey, and now, as I'm supervising other coaches and mentoring, that sometimes meeting the moment with our best possible self and the potential that lies in the moment is much more important and valuable than preparing for it for days and weeks and months. Because ultimately, we can never prepare enough so that we meet the moment perfectly. And I know well that there is this part of me that wants perfection. And I have really been working on seeing the other parts that want joy, that want flow, that want freedom, and working with all of them at the same time and giving them space to show up and to shape experiences. It has been truly life-changing, and it continues to be. And it's never a linear journey. So I am realizing as I'm speaking, there are many moments every day that the perfection part of me comes up. And then it takes conscious choice. It takes conscious awareness, first of all, and then the ability to choose. What is more important to choose now? Choose to improve something or choose to share something and maybe improve it over time, or maybe don't improve it because maybe it's meant to be this way. Maybe it's meant to create something in the world this way. Because the reality is, whatever we do, however good we are at something, it would never be perfect. And it would never be perfect for everyone. So I've been thinking about preparation, not extensively, I just dropped it in my awareness when the idea came, and a lot of things came up. Like every now and again, in between work, playtime, cooking, exercising, this thought of preparation would come up. And I had a number of experiences in the last weeks that were really liberating. And that showed me how much there is in me that doesn't really need preparation in many moments of my life. I have been training to become a fitness instructor in a certain modality, and the quality of my movement has improved tremendously with preparation, with discipline, with commitment, with training multiple times a week. I have really reached a higher level of quality of movement. And after reaching this level, the changes or the improvements were really, really tiny. So even if I invested the same amount of time and the same consistency, the gain was not as it was before. And I realized that when I let go of the need to prepare and be better, something else shows up. Something else opens up in my movement. And as many of us know, our body is the ultimate and wise guide we can ever have. But as I was letting go, or the moments when I let go of the need to be better, oh no, this movement, my back is not as flexible as I would like it to be. I need to work on that. I need to work on that more. And this need to work on that more sometimes doesn't translate into something better. It just translates into pressure, frustration, dissatisfaction, and less joy. So instead of that, I connected to a part of me that was, okay, let's see what shows up in the moment. How can I open up more space for myself and for my movement? How can I enjoy it more and be in the present moment? This type of modality is really about being present with what comes up in your body, being present with emotions, experiences, range of movement, being present with the space, creating more space for yourself, stretching in a way that you feel more extended. And when I connected with this part of me that valued freedom and spaciousness and acceptance, so much more was possible. And my movement had a boost. My movement looked different and it felt different. I could feel the range of movement extending. I could feel in different positions, I could feel very different sensations of expansion that I couldn't before with all the preparation and efforts. And it made me think, it made me realize that sometimes I, maybe some of you could identify with it, maybe not. And I sometimes push so much for consistency, discipline, preparation that I lose track of what I do is all about. that I create so much pressure that I become smaller instead of growing. It's a very painful realization for me. I think part of my conditioning, part of me, of who I am, is about creating things over time with effort, with diligence, with hard work. I really enjoy this process. And I think I've reached a point where I can get to enjoy this process with more spaciousness for myself if I'm conscious about it. If I don't go to my default, which is, oh, let's push, let's create a speed here, let's be finished by this and that time. I want this result from myself. How can I look this way by then? And it doesn't matter if it's about movement or speaking, writing, or whatever type of work I'm doing in the world. And this portion of unlearning is coming up more and more for me. And it feels a bit scary because I enjoy learning, because I have had great experiences with it, and I'm exploring a different type of learning and letting go of preparation. And I'm noticing how just my voice becomes a little bit shaky as I'm talking about it. It feels like a shaky ground. And yeah, I can smile differently here from this space. And it's this thought of how do we evolve over time without the need to say, I'm getting better, without the need to say, I was worse yesterday and I'm getting better. How do we evolve with acceptance and with seeing more of ourselves, seeing more of who we are, more of our parts, having conversations with them, and seeing what shows up in the moment? With all the beauty of preparation, the real magic happens when we meet the moment. I have experienced this so much viscerally, physically in teaching fitness classes. I experienced this in coaching a lot and in other modalities of working with people, but there is something about the physical nature of movement that makes it very clear. So when I teach a class, especially with music, there is something about meeting the exact second with your movement and taking people with you. And there is so much beauty and magic when you're able to flow, to move at the exact speed of what's happening and to be able to lead this way. It's, I am noticing it's quite challenging to put this in words because it's such a fleeting experience. And I have come to realize this is really what life is all about. No, it sounds quite abstract and big, and it is true. What if we met the moment and let go of the need to be prepared? The need to be prepared for this exact moment, the need to be prepared for the next one, the need to be prepared for the next weeks and months and years, without fully letting it go, but kind of holding it spaciously, opening up space for what can emerge. What can emerge in our relationships, what can emerge in our work, what can emerge in our families, what can emerge in our world. I don't know, sometimes I think that space is so much of what we all need. And I am generalizing here because my perception is that space is where things unfold. I see this a lot in my work, the space that people receive in coaching, in mentoring, in supervision, in working with other people and being listened to, being witnessed, really makes so much possible. It has made so much possible for me, and I know it has made so much possible for other people. It's truly meeting these spaces of listening, of witnessing ourselves and others that can open up new ways, deeper ways, more truthful ways, more authentic ways to more joy, to more fulfillment, to more achievement. I'm saying this cautiously, and yet, no, achievement can have so much beauty in it. Yeah, there was a need for this sigh now. As if I had said something important, for sure, something important to me. And I hope it held importance to you too. In whatever shape and form this importance would reach you, I thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me. And as always, I would love to be in a conversation. I would love to stay connected. I would love to hear and read from you. So reach out. If you meet the moment and the urge of sharing something or being in a conversation, don't hesitate to send a message. I'm just a click away. Take care, and I do hope you will join me for the next episodes. See you then.